Well, here we are at number 12 Rosedale Road in Gordon. With our selling owners here, both Barbara, of course, and John Oldmeadow. 29 years. It's a big
That's
day.
right.
It's a significant day.
Yeah.
What's the process been for you? I mean, because it is a pretty significant day.
Oh, definitely.
And process to really go through. What was the experience you've had with both Ray and Kerry from Callagher's?
Well, I guess the first thing, we were reminiscing that we began this process with Callagher's in November of 2013.
Oh.
So we've actually been working long process. We've used Callagher's for the purchase of our previous house 12 years ago
And the management
in Annandale, and they've managed that as a residential rental property there. So it was natural that we would go and work with them, and they've really helped us through. They gave us some tough advice: get rid of an awful lot of furniture and an awful lot of books, but I think we've seen the result today.
Absolutely outstanding. $2,210,000. It was quoted from the last quoted price on the property, going back probably now a week and a half or so, was about $1,750,000. The reserve basically coming on the market at $1,800,000. So you're very realistic with price, and basically we're sort of listening to the market a little bit. Were you a little surprised with the final results?
Well, yes, except that we know that the supply is really down at the moment in our area. We've been told that, and we've actually had flyers from other estate agents that said that the supply is really not there at the moment, and we've had those under our door. And so we thought that there would be interest just on the basis of what's happening in the market, and that's turned out to be the case.
But on the other hand, we have been realistic. I went to another auction in a very similar property, and while there might have been a lot of interest beforehand, at the auction there was simply no bid at all. So we've tried to maintain our enthusiasm, which was realised, thank you David, today, but we began with what we thought was a realistic price, and that was certainly where we were prepared to start with.
This is a very unusual property and certainly significant for the area. It sits on 1,100. What is it? 1 million. That's 1,100.
134 something.
Something. 1,138.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a significant parcel of land, but there's a bit of a historical sort of background behind the property. Could you perhaps explain a little bit more about that?
Well, this was owned by John Bradfield, who is the chief engineer for the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And so he owned the whole property. He didn't live, the house he lived in he did not build, but then he took part of the land and built a house for his son, which was a cottage during the Depression, and then was subsequently added on to by other people. And so, it's at a very high point along the ridge, which includes the Pacific Highway, and it's a level block at the top of the ridge. So it's built by the engineer of the Harbour Bridge.
It's pretty significant.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Absolutely. Well, my wife this morning, my mum, that's why I get all sorts of trouble. Loved the house instantaneously when she saw some basic photos of the property. It is one of those properties that attracts you or draws you in. The land has been one of the ones that have been, bringing it or drawing people towards the property. Its location only minutes to the railway line. So a couple of interesting credit points or tick points that the property definitely did label. Okay, so we've completed the whole package. Was it a little bit strange for inviting, say, an inner west specialist in an outer sort of suburb? Was that ever a concern? Did that ever cut across?
Well, we talked to Kerry about that, and he said these days everything's changed so much.
Yes.
And the sort of people we are, we truly believe that it is about trust and it is about relationship, and we had that built up over, 12 years or something of having really personal contact over the other house and the way that that's all been managed and everything. And, we just feel like we click with Kerry. And I think that's been borne out, don't you? Yeah.
And I think it's ironic that as we move into the electronic age and the information becomes instantly available anywhere in the world, and I suspect some of our buyers inspected from overseas, as that becomes more accessible and depersonalised, it actually needs to be complemented by the personal relationship. So I don't think you'd want to just go with internet shopping for a house, but having the relationship and that capacity to have it so widely distributed literally around the world was an ideal combination for us.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, it's been an absolute honour and pleasure to be able to service and help you
Thank
to
you.
get to this particular point. It is a big entrustment, and we do take that, sincerely
Yes.
and honestly, and clearly it was resulted very nicely for you both
Yes,
today. So
absolutely.
congratulations.
We're very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thanks very much, David.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Thank you very much. We'll see you all next week. See you then. Catch up.